Hey y'all, welcome back to a special Hopped Up Beer Review. Today, we are visiting our friends at the Radeberger Gruppe in Frankfurt, Germany, and we're trying the Schöfferhofer Passion Fruit.
And the pomegranate.
And the grapefruit. Thanks for joining us. Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. We have got an interesting one today because we're going to try 3 beers in one show, if you didn't pick that up from the intro. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What are we drinking today, gentlemen?
Schöfferhofer. All 3 of them.
All right. Why are we drinking all 3?
Passion fruit, grapefruit, pomegranate, because they're only 2.5%. And
good reason.
Let's, which one do you want to go with first?
I think the passion fruit's calling my name. So, because I'm a very passionate guy. So, let's go with that one first. That's my vote.
And the reason we're doing all 3, because essentially they're radlers. So they share the same beer base. It's a Hefeweizen. And then they add a different type of fruit drink. It's typically a 50-50 mix.
Well, it's very passionate.
Well, half of it is.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
One of the reasons we chose to do this in the middle of the day was because I was out doing yard work, and if would be a very nice, refreshing break before I go back out and do more yard.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the beer. Again, it's a Hefeweizen. The name Schöfferhofer is a brand of German wheat beer that was named for the former house of Peter Schöffer. So the house is known as the Meiser Schöfferhof, in which a brewery was founded. And the portrait of Peter Schöffer is actually on the can. Now, who is Peter Schöffer, you might ask? Well, he was a German printer, and he was considered the author of many innovations in printing, such as date books, and then also including a title page in books and colored inks in print and letterpress printing. He made some innovations with that. So, the brand originated at that house. Today, it's known as the Brauerei Drakoningshof. That brewery that was there. Now, Radeberger Gruppe originated in Saxony, but they've moved to Frankfurt. They are Germany's largest private brewery group. They account for 15% of German beer production.
Really? That's wild.
Yeah. They say that the Schöfferhofer Weizen, the Weizen without the additives, was the first, they say is the first wheat beer brewed outside of Bavaria. I don't know how to contest and check on that.
You didn't verify that?
What? It's one of those brewery claims, right? It's the oldest.
Mm-hmm. It's just like we say, this is the best beer review show on the internet, right? Right.
Actually, Schöfferhofer was first introduced to Germany in 2007. It's not an old beer. And then one of the product developers got the idea for this. He's like in around 1998, 1999. He went to a New Year's Eve party with his daughters, and they were serving some grapefruit type of drink from a local store, and they liked it. So he's like, well, let me try and make a beer to, kind of mimic the grapefruit, and then started from there. But it took years for it to actually come to market. And it came into the United States in 2013 at Disney, then to New York in 2014.
Leave it to Disney, right?
I will say this:
it's
easy to drink.
It definitely is that,
especially on a day when you've been working out, huh? Do we want to rate this and go on to another one?
That's it.
Or do we want to rate
it? Yeah, we could rate it. No, we can rate it, and then I'm going to leave a little bit and then sample. Yeah. So.
All right.
Anybody had this before?
Nope.
I haven't had the passion fruit. I think I've had the grapefruit, and I think I've had it at Disney. Interestingly enough,
I'm pretty sure I had it at Disney as well, in the buffet there.
Yeah, I think I had it at the little drink cart, the little draft cart that's outside in the Germany pavilion, if memory serves me correctly.
Okay. So you're saying you had the grapefruit?
I feel confident I've had the grapefruit. I don't know
Jay
that I logged it, but
Ben has.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you've also had it in Helen.
Okay.
Makes sense. Koenig. No, the Koenig Ludwig Beer Garden is in Disney, right?
Yeah.
No, that's in Helen.
But the Germany pavilion.
That's the beer garden in Helen.
Yeah.
And the Germany pavilion.
I had it there. I just
too.
didn't rate it there.
All right.
A friend somebody I'm linked to on Untapped also said, add vodka. You're welcome.
Interesting.
I'll jump.
Well, I'll jump.
Let me go.
Okay,
Let me go.
Jump. Go. Come on, go. Get out of the way.
Well, usually by tradition, I would have to go.
Well, that's true.
I haven't had the passion fruit.
That's right. Passion fruit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. This is really good. It's easy drinking, light. I'm not a huge fan of Radlers normally because I don't like all that mixed in. Some of the Radlers are better for me than Shandies, but this I don't mind. It's actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna rate it 6.5. Easy drinking, light, pretty good going. Not something I'm gonna drink every day or reach for, but on a day that's warm, I can see it.
Yeah, I'll jump in and go. I pretty much agree with everything you said there. It's, Radlers and Shandies are not my favorite styles either. I do like the Radlers better than the Shandies because I don't really like Shandies really at all, at least any that I've had. But the Radlers I think are drinkable. There are ones that if I see a Radler that I haven't had, I'm going to buy it. If I see a Shandy I haven't had, I'm going to think twice about it and probably buy it, but maybe not. But I think this one is, it's definitely light, and it just has just a kind of a light grape flavor to me. And maybe it's the purple, messing with my head or something, but it just has that little fruity flavor to it. It's very easy to drink. Again, like Jay said, not something I'm going to reach for often. But, I could see having a cooler full of these at a baseball game in the middle of a Mississippi summer versus, the White Claws and the other seltzers of the world. So I would much rather have this than a seltzer, personally. So I'm going to give it a 7.
I think the rating of this for me depends on the time of year I would have to drink it. If we were doing this in the dead of winter in the evening, and I may not have given it as favorable score as I am going to give it. Also, that I've been working all day and I'm thirsty, and this is very refreshing. It's not heavy, it's light, it goes down easy. It definitely is the type of beer I need on a day like this. And it's a good fruit flavor. I've had some Radlers where it's just, we may, when we get into that grapefruit, where it might be a little too bitter from like a grapefruit bitter. But the passion fruit really is great. And one of the other Radlers that Stiegel makes a good one that I like, but it has to be the right atmosphere for it. So this is the right atmosphere. I'm going to give this one a 7. It's good.
All right, we're going to move on to the pomegranate here. So let's crack that one and give it a shot.
I think somebody shook mine up.
I don't think anybody had to on these.
Didn't you provide these?
Look, somebody shook mine up.
Yeah, you provided these, Jay. So if you shook these up, it was yourself.
Maybe I dropped mine. I don't know.
This one smells good.
Like how the label, Puerto Rico, I think also says Florida, do not litter.
Yeah.
Do not litter.
You people in Puerto Rico, y'all stop with littering.
Gosh, Puerto Rico, get with it. So rude. Well, cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Schöfferhofer Pomegranate. Trying to think of actual pomegranate taste. See how close this is to it.
I would say it's fairly close.
This is the 50% Hefeweizen, 50% pomegranate.
Oh. All right, you giving us all the info on the brewery. We probably should have spread that out a little bit better.
And that's why we're doing all 3 of these, because it's the same beer with a different flavor. So.
All right, it's just a base, and they change.
I'll jump in there and go first on this one, because I don't think anybody's had. I don't think I've had this one before.
I just checked. Nobody has had this one.
I like this one so far better than the passion fruit. I think the flavor of the pomegranate comes through a little bit more. It's more of a, I taste probably the beer a little bit less, which for me at a 2.5% is okay. I think if you're grabbing one of these, you're maybe going for the flavor more so than the beer taste, right? I mean, the 3 of us, if you're watching this show, you probably love the taste of beer like we do. I think this is probably obviously for some drinkers who maybe aren't as, don't love the beer taste as much. Maybe it's definitely probably a market that they reach out to, just like the seltzer market. But I think from a flavor standpoint, this one is a lot better to me. So far, this one's the best. I'm going to give this one a 7.5.
I'll go. Well, I disagree. I think the passion fruit is better than this one. It does have the pomegranate flavor, but it's a little too sweet, like a syrupy feel to it. It's almost like not so much as a refreshing fruit juice, almost like a syrupy combo to it. I mean, not the worst in the world. Again, it's light and refreshing, but it's a bit heavier feeling than the passion fruit, because I guess the pomegranate juice that they use, or the whatever soda drink. It smells sweeter too. Do I want to give I'm going to give this one a 6. Yeah, it's a full point lower than the passion fruit. So, Ben, you're just wrong a lot.
All right.
You know what they
So
say
I
about
rounded
opinions.
out. Yeah. I agree with you, Andy. It's super sweet. What it reminds me of is like a juice box or something. That you would get when you were younger. The pomegranate is much heavier than the passion fruit, and it's a heavier beer to me. I'm right there with you. This is a 6. So um, I like pomegranate, but I feel like I'm drinking a juice box or a high C or something.
And that's what I like about it. I like my juices with artificial sugar and more sweetness. All right, that's going to bring us to our last one, and that is going to be the grapefruit. So let's crack this one up. I think as we were talking earlier, Jay and I both had this. Andy apparently, at least as far as we know, has not. So
Which is surprising. I mean, when you go to Disney, it's one that you have at the German Pavilion. I think they
but
serve it in the big liters too, don't they?
Yeah, they will.
I
The
drank
buffet.
the bigger, heavier beers when I went.
And Andy doesn't like grapefruit, right?
Typically not.
See, the things you learn about your friends when you do a lame beer review show with them. I would have never known you didn't like grapefruit had we not done the show. So
Your life is
and that's a
very
fact worth
fulfilling now.
knowing.
Yeah.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Well, this isn't a bad grapefruit. I'll say that. It's a muted. It's definitely diluted grapefruit juice.
But it has great flavor to it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is one when I've had it specifically in Helen. I remember having it one day, kind of at the end of the night. For me, just I wanted to have one more drink, but I didn't want anything too heavy. And this was the one that I had at that point. So it was a low ABV, just something to finish the night off with. So, Andy, you're up. What do you think?
What do I think? I think this falls right in between at 6.5. It's not as heavy as the pomegranate, not as light as the passion fruit, not as syrupy tasting, but just not as crisp and refreshing as that first one, that passion fruit. But it is not an offensive grapefruit peel bitterness to it. It's pretty good. So it earns that 6.5 for me. It's, again, if this were a cold day and it was the end of the day and I wanted a really good beer and we were reviewing this, I would probably be down in the 5s, I'm sure. So 6.5 today.
Unprofessional and somewhat biased, even to the day.
Yes.
All right, Jay. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, this is kind of the standard that I see from them. Like you said, Andy, in the intro, or in the historical aspect of it, that he wanted to make a grapefruit drink. So this was the first one that they brought over, and it's got great flavor. I've always loved grapefruit. This is a 7 for me. It's the leader out of all of them, with passion fruit right behind it, pomegranate at the bottom. So.
All right. I think for me, this one's a 7.5 as well, along with the pomegranate. I actually like this one a little bit better. I don't like it enough to give it a half point more to bring it to an 8. So I'm going to stick it at a 7.5. But this one's really nice, clean, refreshing. There's no bitter from the grapefruit, as Andy mentioned. I think it's, like the others, it's obviously very easy to drink. And I think it's perfect for a extremely hot day. I could see throwing the mixed pack of these, and that's how we got them. There was a cherry in the mix pack as well. Jay decided to drink all those and not share them. So thanks for that, Jay. But no, thanks for sharing these.
You're welcome.
Cherry slut.
But I think this one is is the best of the group for sure. So 7.5 for this one for me as well. All right, that is going to be a 6.8 for the passion fruit, a 6.5 for the pomegranate, and a 7.0 for the grapefruit. I think we all agree the grapefruit is probably our favorite. Andy, did you thought no?
I did not agree
you
to that.
disagree.
No, I did.
He liked the
Passion
passion fruit above the
Well, you're just
grapefruit.
wrong. Like
I'm a passionate kind of guy, you know.
Yeah. So definitely, I think these are some interesting, beers. I mean, I kind of air quote that myself.
Beer adjacent, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's been a fun little taste test here to have them all at the same time. I definitely wouldn't want to separate these out for a show, so I'm glad we kind of did it this way. Just having them all at the same time and comparing them against each other. But definitely appreciate you guys checking out this video. We've got a lot of other videos out there at this point, doing this now a couple of years. So go check out some of our other videos. We would appreciate that, and your money back guarantee on that from us. You will get all your money back if you don't like it. So with that, be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. Check us out on all social media, links down below in the description. Come say hey in our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. And if you're interested in any Hopped Up Beer Review merch, like Jay's shirt or glass he's about to show, or koozie, nope, never mind. Drop the ball on that one. Check the link down below. For Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
How dare you?
What did he do?
How dare you, sir?